Fully pink loadout for CS2, and I'm going for the absolute best one possible, so some skins are going to be cheap and others are going to be expensive. My goal is basically to get the best one regardless of the price, but I'll give you cheaper options for those that are too expensive. And we're starting off with the M4A1S Vaporwave, which is the brand new M4, and it does have some purple, but it's mostly pink, which is actually good since there were no better ones before the Armory update, and the minimum wear version is around $120, so if you want a cheaper one, just get the Decimator, but it isn't as good as this one as it is mostly purple. For the Scout, I chose the Turbo Peak, which is just great for this one, and the best part is that it is pretty cheap as well, as you can get the field tested version for under $5. For the Glock, this is the Gold Tooth, which is the new Glock from the Armory update, and it fits very well here. You can get the minimum wear version for around $37, so if you want a cheaper one, just go and get the classic pink DD pad. For the op, we have the Krakow, which is another new skin, and of course it had to be here. This goes straight to #1 when it comes to pink ops, but the field tested is not cheap as it costs around $88, so for a cheaper one you can just go ahead and get the pink TD pad or even the Fever Dream. This video was sponsored by Skins Monkey, which is a trading platform where you can trade your old rusty CS2 skins for some new shiny ones in seconds. You just select the skins that you want to trade and the ones that you want to get. You click trade and it's done. If you use my code OZNI on the website, you get a bonus of up to $5 for free and a 35% bonus when buying balance. They also host giveaways in the freebies page, and link to Skins Monkey is in the description. And then for the Zeus, I chose the Dragon Snore, which is the only one possible here. It's not fully pink at all, but there's literally only 2 Zeus skins in the game, so the field tested one for about $32 is alright. And then for the 5.7, I chose the Fairy Tail, which is perfect here, and in my opinion it is a bit expensive for a 5.7 skin, but there's not many to choose from, and you can get this one in field tested for around $20. Next up for the AK, I chose the Be the Monster, which is another new skin that just fits great here. Before this I had to pick the Neon Rider, which is mostly purple, then it is pink, so I'm glad that this skin exists now, but the minimum wear version is expensive for around $400, so as a cheap alternative just go and get the Neon Revolution. Next up for the Mach 10, I chose the Neon Rider, which is very old, but it's still the best pick possible here. You can't really go wrong with it, and the minimum wear version is only $6.5. For the FAMAS, I chose the Pulse, which is kinda purple as well, but I consider it to be more like a pink skin. Either way, it is the most pink one available, so the factory new for about $6 is not a bad pick. And then for the M4A4, I chose the Poly Soup, which is another new skin, and you can also argue that it's kinda purple, but it is a light color, so it's definitely more of a pink one than it is purple, and it is pretty cheap as you can get the minimum version for around $12. Next up we have the Desert Eagle Trigger Discipline, which is still the best choice here in my opinion. It is the most pink one available, and it's very cheap as the factory new version is just $2.6. For the MP9, I chose the Mount Fuji, which just fits very well in this inventory. I also really like the design, so that is a plus, and the minimum version is around $6.2. Also, just take a second to look at the skin with the new water effects on train. It just looks amazing. It feels like the rain is inside the actual skin in the mountain. It's just crazy. And then we have the Tech 9 Decimator, which is kinda purple too, but from what I see, this is the best choice possible, and the field tested costs about $10. For the Galil, I chose the Chromatic Aberration, which fits nicely and it's also the only option. I didn't mention it, but you can also use this skin on the op. However, the Galil in minimum wear is around $3.5. For the USP, I chose the Cortex, which is a skin that I'm personally bored of as it's everywhere, but for this inventory it is the best choice possible, and the minimum wear version is only around $3.3. For the P250, I chose the Vinyl Primer, which is a tricky one. It's more purple than it is pink, but there's no better choice than this one, and the fact that you can get it in minimum wear for just $2.5 makes it pretty good. Then for the Knife and Glove combo, I will give you 2 combos. First off, we're starting off with an expensive one, and then we'll go over to a cheap one. And obviously for the expensive one, we have the M9 Bayonet Doppler factory new with the Sport Gloves Vice in field tested. The Doppler is the phase 2, which is the only one that is pink, and this looks absolutely amazing, but it is way too expensive as it costs about $2,850, so as a cheap alternative I went with the Gut Knife Fade factory new with the Mortal Gloves Pole in Well Worn. And yes, I know this isn't fully pink, but it's basically impossible to make an actual pink combo on a lower budget as there's barely any pink gloves or even pink knives. So this is pretty decent for what we have, and if you have another combo suggestion, just let me know down in the comments, but this one costs around $345. That is it. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for daily CS2 content.